Carnage Incarnate here, and as promised, I said I was going to do segments of the movies that I already had. Now, today I decided to go through just my wrestling DVDs, which are WWE and some are from other companies, but all my wrestling DVDs. Again, I have a lot. First one that I just got recently, Triple H, the King of Kings. This is one of the newest Triple H ones. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet because I actually, my mom's friend was selling his collection, so I got this for $5. Now, if you get it from WWE, it would have been like $40 to $50. But Triple H is freaking awesome. He's had an amazing career. And just a side note, I'm wearing a Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast hat, but Stone Cold Steve Austin owes a lot to Triple H. Triple H was part of a Clique, which was a backstage group consisting of him, Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall. When Kevin Nash and Scott Hall were going from WWF at the time to WCW, they broke kayfabe, which, if you don't know what kayfabe is, all these wrestlers have characters, and they're not supposed to break character. There are countless stories of issues behind the scenes, just like on Fear Factor when Lita, Jeff, and Matt were all going at it. The Hardy Boys, that's who Jeff and Matt are, were all kind of having like their problems. Lita was supposed to stay away from Matt, which off screen they were still dating, so she got pissed off. Great story. I read it in Lita's book, so that's another video for another time. But anyway, back to the story. So they broke kayfabe. They got into the ring and they said their goodbyes. They hugged, held up, all that kind of stuff. And WWE, of course, could not, or WWF at the time, could not punish Shawn Michaels because he was the champion at the time. He was pretty much the face of the company. And of course, they can't punish Scott Hall or Kevin Nash, so who are they going to punish? Ended up being this guy. And he was supposed to, that year, win the King of the Ring tournament, and he didn't. They blackballed him for the next year. All he was a jobber, which jobbers means you're losing every freaking match, pretty much. You're putting other people over. The person that ended up winning, Stone Cold Steve Austin, in which he said a very unique line that a lot of wrestling fans will probably know. He said, Austin 316 said, "I just kicked your ass." And that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. And the rest is history. But this guy is really freaking good. He's a student of the game, all that kind of stuff. He's called the Cerebral Assassin. I mean, this guy is a worker, so I actually can't wait to see this. Going from there, we go to his cohort, or his best friend, Shawn Michaels' My Journey. Now, this guy is, I mean, what has this guy not done? He was the first Royal Rumble winner that went from 1 to 30. He's known as Mr. Main Event, Mr. WrestleMania. This guy is amazing, honestly. Triple Crown winner, multiple reigns, everything you could possibly do. Great story of this guy. I read his autobiography. Good book. Pick it up as well. But again, that's another story. So, Shawn Michaels' My Journey. Then, going from Shawn Michaels and Triple H to D-Generation X, which D-Generation X is Shawn Michaels and Triple H. This is the new and improved. This was when they came back after all these years, and it was just those two. You can kind of see all the kind of stuff. I know I haven't shown you anything else, but this DVD is like cool as hell. This is a 3-disc DVD, list of many matches. So like I said, I haven't watched any of these yet because I just literally got them. But that's a really cool one. Let me just real quick show you the insert of Shawn Michaels in them. Okay, Shawn Michaels, DX, And then Triple H pops out like that. It's got a nice little skull. That's kind of what he wore to multiple WrestleManias now. This is just a 2-disc set. Got a nice picture, all that kind of stuff. Now, moving on to the rated R superstar, Edge. Good old Canadian boy. This guy had an amazing career that got cut short, but what a lot of people don't know is it didn't get cut short as much as people thought. He had decided that it was going to be his last year anyway, but an injury took him out. There's 3 discs on this. This guy's a master of the ladder match, Mr. Opportunity. The Ultimate Opportunist, that's what it is. And he had a huge storyline with Lita, who I told you about earlier. Lita was dating Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy found out that Edge and Lita had an affair, and that ended up being brought into storyline. WWE fired Matt because Matt wasn't ever a main event player for WWE. So they fired Matt, and then they brought him back, did a whole storyline, elevated his career, semi-elevated Matt's career. Matt had a good run for a little bit. It kind of did the opposite to Lita. Even after breaking with Edge and going out back on her own singles and all that, she kind of never could live it down. And she got tired of people like throwing shit at her and saying, "You screwed Matt." So she ended up retiring, sadly. But she still has good standing with WWE. And so far, Edge and Shawn Michaels are the only 2 Hall of Famers in that one. Next, we have Batista. He was in a group called Evolution with Triple H. Before that, he was known as Deacon Batista when he was partnered up with Reverend Devon, which Devon is from the Dudley Boys. This guy's a powerhouse, and if you don't know who he is, then you've obviously never seen Guardians of the Galaxy. You've never seen the new James Bond film, which he was in, and a few others. This guy has actually broken into mainstream movies. This is also another 3-disc set. This guy plays Drax the Destroyer. He's actually, I don't know the martial arts that he studies, but he's like a black belt in that martial arts since really leaving WWE, becoming an action movie star, and all that. But he's a really cool guy, honestly. Then, sadly, we have Roddy Piper. I say sadly not because I don't like it. It's sad because he just recently passed away. This guy was a freaking funny guy. Whenever he showed up on WWE TV, even in his later, when he wasn't a wrestler, he just put smiles on people's faces. This is another 3-disc set. His classic thing, he was rowdy before rowdy was cool. Just when you think you have all the answers, he changes the questions. And he was in a movie called They Live, which the most iconic line from that movie is, "I came here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum." So, very good guy, very good wrestler, very good story. Next we have Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, as much as they want to say Shawn Michaels was the face, and they always say all these people are the face of the company, in my book, there's only been 3 faces of WWE over the last 30 years, 30, 40 years almost, and that's Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and now John Cena. And I know I'm going to get heat from that. Go ahead, leave it in the comments. I don't care. You can't deny Cena is the face of the company. And he deserves a lot more credit than people give him. But we're talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin. This guy had a pretty good career. Multiple-time champion. And that right there is why he's so high up there. Because he did stuff that a lot of people like to do. He beat the shit out of his boss. So, that was really cool. This is a 3-disc set. He's another one that his career kind of ended before it was due. But his injury didn't happen. Well, his injury happened long before he kind of called it quits. He got pile driven by Owen Hart. And Owen did, instead of landing on his knees like almost everybody does because it's a little bit safer, he landed on his butt, which means that Stone Cold's head, which was between his legs, hit the mat hard. And actually, if you see that match, Stone Cold could barely get the cover. He was supposed to win right after that. So Owen's walking around the ring and Stone Cold's like barely getting up and covering him. He broke his neck. So, I mean, this guy's done it all. He is a movie star. He does a lot of movies. He was in The Longest Yard. He was in The Expendables 1. And he's done a bunch of other movies. Too many to really name in this video that I'm trying to keep short. Next, we have my favorite wrestler of all time, Jeff frickin' Hardy. Part of Team Extreme and the Hardy Boys, one of the best tag teams of all time. Him, Edge, or him and Matt versus Edge and his tag team partner Christian versus the Dudleys, some of the best battles of all time, the legendary TLC matches. This guy is the charismatic enigma. He still wrestles to this day. He's in TNA. Sadly, come back to WWE, Jeff. It's where you need to be. Oh, let me open it up and show you. This guy, I mean, he's got tattoos. He's just so different from what every other wrestler is, and that's what I gravitated towards when I first started watching wrestling, because I'm not a lifelong wrestling fan, as much as you would think because of the stack of DVDs that's next to me. I'm not a lifelong wrestling fan. I started watching when I had no cable, so I started way back. Now we got Twist of Fate, which is Matt and Jeff. Of course, Matt being on the bottom, Jeff being on top. Twist of Fate is actually Matt's finisher move, but Jeff kind of uses it. But Jeff uses the Swanton Bomb more often. This doesn't really have much of an insert. It's a normal DVD case. Like I said, one of the best tag teams of all time. They were also part of Team Extreme with Lita, who is my favorite diva of all time, or women's wrestler, because now diva is a bad word apparently. I'm not going to get into that. Next, I'm going to move past that one because it's going to go into something. Next, we got the immortal Hulk Hogan. Now, if I need to tell you anything about this guy, then I don't know. Have you been alive? I mean, seriously, this is Hulk Hogan. He's freaking in Rocky. He's been in TV shows. He's been everywhere. Even when I was not a wrestling fan, I knew who Hulk Hogan was. Okay? So I'm not even going to tell you about this guy. This guy is just that good that he doesn't need an introduction whatsoever. Then we go into this. This is the ladder match DVD. Has some of the best ladder matches of all time, and one of the discs is falling out. Now, this also has TLC matches and all that, which you can see there's Matt and Edge over there on this side. That is Chris Benoit. I'm not going to get into that. Not going to say my opinion or anything like that. This is a 3-disc set, which is probably going to need ladder match part 2 soon. Some of the best matches of all time, especially during the Attitude Era. Extreme was the thing. Thank you, Paul Heyman. Then I have the Raw 10th Anniversary Special. Just kind of celebrating Raw. Stone Cold with the beer bath and all that. Pretty good. I don't really need to talk too much about this, but Raw is the longest weekly episodic television show of all time. This has had more episodes than The Simpsons, Family Guy, Law and Order, all that kind of stuff. Literally tonight, before I filmed this, I watched Monday Night Raw. It was the 1200th episode. 1200 episodes. That's insane. Okay. Now we're going to move on to Rey Mysterio, Mr. 619. Classic luchador style, high-flying, short guy. Very good wrestler, though. He's no longer with WWE, but there's rumors of him coming back. It's just a 1-disc. Very good guy. He got a push that I wasn't really comfortable with because it was a push based upon his friend dying, but I'm not going into that either. Then we have the Phenom, Undertaker. Tombstone, the history of the Undertaker. He has the best winning streak of all time in any sport. He was 21-0 at WrestleMania until Brock Lesnar defeated him. I don't really think they should have let Brock Lesnar defeat him because I think his thing should have lasted the test of time. This guy, for being 7 foot tall, this guy could freaking move in that ring. He went toe to toe with Kurt Angle, which Kurt Angle is a 1996 Olympic gold medalist in wrestling. Fun fact, 3 people from WWE came from the 1996 Olympics. Kurt Angle, Mark Henry, and Lillian Garcia. Lillian Garcia sung at the Olympics. So that's a fun fact. But he went toe to toe with Kurt and matched him for speed. It was amazing. And he can jump over that top rope and freaking clear a casket that's probably as big as my bed because he had to go against Mark Henry, so they had to have a casket big enough. And my bed's a queen size bed. So he jumped over a top rope, which the top ropes I believe are at 5 foot. So he jumped 5 foot in the air over a casket. That's probably at least 4 foot in distance to the end of the casket. So he had jumped further than that. It was an amazing sight to behold. Now we get into a little bit of a diva action. Trish Stratus, one of the best in the more modern type era. She is a great read because of the fact that she was a model. She was not a wrestler whatsoever. It's a one-disc thing. She was not a wrestler whatsoever, and she busted her ass. And you can now say towards the end of her career, which not like the very last year, no, for like the last 5 years of her career, she was a full-fledged badass wrestler. She was really good. She looks even more amazing now. Like, I mean, she looks beautiful there, but she has like dark brown hair now. And she does yoga. She has a yoga studio. She looks beautiful as hell. This is going on to the next one, of course. This is a special thing that I got after Eddie Guerrero died. This was a special they did, I believe, in Mexico. Just a bunch of people came out just to celebrate his life. Viva Guerrero. In a tribute to the memory of Eddie Guerrero. Tragic, tragic, tragic that he lost his life. It was so sad. I mean, he had drug addiction and all that, but that was in the past. So it was really sad that he lost his life. And honestly, in WWE, he is missed. I know me, my friends, all of us. These are our going last, okay? Then I got Bloodsport. ECW, the most violent matches. ECW was bought by WWE, so this is technically a WWE DVD. This kind of made everybody step up their game. They had some extreme matches. I mean, it's called Extreme Championship Wrestling for a reason. But they had some amazing matches. They had some amazing talent, and they allowed amazing talent to flourish, which that is one thing that WWE doesn't have anymore, is competition. TNA, everybody can say TNA is competition, but the fact of the matter is WWE is still the big game. Now, it is lucky that TNA is still semi-around, although it's going down fast. With TNA stars like AJ and freaking Samoa Joe and countless others finally jumping ship. But this is what WWE needs to kind of bring it to the next level. ECW, WCW, they really made WWE step up their game. And then I have Classic Superstars, which this is Booker T and Superstars of Yesteryear. These are just like old school matches. That's all it's about. They're not going to tell you much about their story. They're just going to show, like the Booker T has about 5 or 6 matches on it. So these are good to have just when you want to look at where they've come from. Then you have the Steve Austin, which, by the way, Stone Cold Steve Austin with long blonde hair. But a lot of people didn't know he was a blondie. And Cactus Jack. Cactus Jack is also known as Mick Foley, which is his real name. Mankind, Dude Love, Miss Foley's baby boy. This is the king of extreme. Him and Terry Funk. Those two were the kings of Extreme, depending on who you ask. This man, Cactus Jack, lost an ear and just blood, sweat, and tears. And now his daughter, Noelle Foley, she wants to be a wrestler. Watch her on the WWE Network on her journey. And then I have another D-Generation X. This is the originals. There's Chyna, who just recently passed. Shawn Michaels, bare-ass naked with the title across his junk. And Triple H before he was anything too big. But this was the originals. This was badass. They also show Billy Gunn, Road Dogg, and X-Pac as well in this. Great faction, probably one of the best factions of all time, which is a faction is a group of people. Then we get into Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. Now, it does have a press here thing, which you can see, but doesn't work anymore. It would say some of his things, his famous lines and everything. But he was a really good guy, man. His son Goldust, his other son Cody Rhodes, they're both in WWE now. Well, Stardust, which is Cody Rhodes, he just left, but this guy, he helped out a lot of youngsters and everything, and everybody in WWE has a Dusty Rhodes story. Just a really, really good guy, good father, good all around, and he truly lived the American dream. It's not just a catchphrase. Then we have, and this is one of the things that's really sad, I do have Eddie Guerrero's book, and I have Eddie Guerrero's DVD, but this is what made it really sad. This came out around the time of his death, and it was called Cheating Death, Stealing Life, the Eddie Guerrero story. It was so sad just to see that title when I bought this. Just so sad. Tragic, tragic. His heart just exploded from his workout and his past drug use and everything, but he had cleaned up his life. He was doing really good. You know, he was winning championships, and he had only won one WWE championship. You know, he was gonna win another one sooner or later, and it just, life happened. Very, very sad. Now, I said I was gonna leave these to last, so that means that these are the next ones I go through, which I believe go this way. We have, oh, go this way. We have the Divas. We got Tori Wilson on Divas Undressed, the Golden Thong Award, and all that. Dawn Marie, Ivory, all them. I'm a guy. What can I say? You got Tori on this one as well. Divas Desert Heat. It's basically them just modeling, but it has wrestling matches on there and kind of interviews and stuff, which is always fun. And I'm a guy, so yes, it has girls in bikinis. We got Viva Las Divas of the WWE. Divas. Has Stacy Keibler, which if you don't know her, she actually dated George Clooney for a while. And it has a bunch of the other ones. There's Lita right there. That's Lita. She's freaking gorgeous. Got Christy Hemme over there, Tori Wilson, all the other divas. And then this was the last one they did before Linda McMahon ran for public office, and then showing the divas in lingerie and stuff. That was a no-no. Yet Sports Illustrated every year puts a girl in paint, and that would be fine. Anyway, so just saying. The Divas do New York. Yeah. Okay, so it was all sexual innuendos. So what? So yeah, those are the Divas. And then we got WrestleManias. Now, I have the history of WrestleMania 1 through 9 right there. It just does highlights. It actually doesn't show, like, all the matches. Just kind of shows highlighted matches. Then, I'm trying to put these in order because for some reason these are not in order. Then I have WrestleMania 20. This was the first WrestleMania that I ever watched. This had Eddie Guerrero defending the title. Chris Benoit won his first WWE title, or WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Actually, it was just the World Heavyweight Championship. And had probably one of the worst matches of all time, Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg. How can it be bad? It was just two bulls ramming each other. And Stone Cold was the special guest referee. I felt sorry for him too. Um, then I do have WrestleMania 21. I was about to skip over to WrestleMania 22, but I bought WrestleMania 21 in this. This is the 2005 pay-per-view schedule. We have New Year's Revolution, Royal Rumble, No Way Out, WrestleMania 21, Backlash, Judgment Day, ECW, One Night Stand, Vengeance, The Great American Bash, SummerSlam, Unforgiven, No Mercy, Taboo Tuesday, Survivor Series, and Armageddon. And I know those are not the order. I'm reading the order off the back. But, yeah. All the pay-per-views for 2005 came in this collector's thing. So this is really cool. I love this thing. Now, let's move on to WrestleMania 22. Oh, also, going back to WrestleMania 20, this is the first time John Cena won the U.S. title. He won it from Big Show. WrestleMania 21, the very next year, his very next title was the WWE title that he won from John Bradshaw Layfield. Now we move on to WrestleMania 22, where he defended his WWE title. You can see all the people. Shawn was still wrestling, Randy Orton, Kurt Angle was still part of WWE. There's Edge and Lita down there, Mark Henry and Undertaker, Vince McMahon, all that kind of stuff. WrestleMania, if you've never watched a WrestleMania, go to Wing House. Wing House is the only place that does it. I don't know why, but they'll show the pay-per-view. Sit there. It's amazing. But if you don't want to just see it on TV, you can do what I did. You can go to WrestleMania yourself. WrestleMania 24. And yes, I did go see this one, and I will prove it to you. I love this. I have this framed on my wall. I should have got it down beforehand, but I didn't. There is my ticket to WrestleMania, and look what it says right under the Florida Citrus Bowl. Rain or shine. And that $20 million bill with Floyd Money Mayweather, when he entered WrestleMania, this rained down from the sky, and we all ran to it. And then we were bored out of our minds at his fucking match. But I wasn't that bored, because during that match, somebody was getting ejected. So I was having a good time. As you can see, I spent $250 on this ticket, which you can see it over on the, where can you see it? Oh, over there. $250 on this ticket, and I bought two. Best thing ever. WrestleMania's coming back next year. I'm going. I don't care what the price is, so I'm going. So I went to this one. I saw all the matches. This was Ric Flair's retirement match. And then Monday night afterwards, I went to Monday Night Raw, and I got to witness Ric Flair retiring. So sad. There were tears. I'm not going to lie. And then I skipped a few. Because this one I got from my mom's friend. This is WrestleMania 28. The once-in-a-lifetime match. The Rock versus John Cena. And then you got Triple H versus Undertaker. I believe this is when it was Hell in a Cell. Yeah, Hell in a Cell. With Shawn Michaels as the special guest referee. Oh, look how shiny it is. And this is actually the only one on Blu-ray I have. So, that kind of goes through my wrestling DVD collection. As you can also see, I have the toy replica belts. These are just toys, sadly. I can't afford the nice ones. They're like $500 after I just said I spent $500 on two tickets. But, so, I quite enjoyed these. And this was part of my collection, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. 48 of my entire collection is just wrestling DVDs. It actually could be a whole lot more, believe me. But these are quite expensive. So, that's why I don't get them very often. So, I hope you like, subscribe. I'm going to do more movies about this and other collections I have. It's gonna be fun. Join me again. Put down in the comments below your favorite wrestler, your favorite diva, uh, anything you want to talk about in WWE. And you can also put it down in the comments. What's your favorite genre? Action, sci-fi, horror, comedy, whatever you like. Tell me your favorite movies. Maybe after I get all this done, I'll do like a one-off on different favorite movies of all times. So, see you later. Carnage Incarnate, and I'm out.